There's no shore like the North Shore, that's for sure. We are the best, some that you can ignore. There's a mighty Restigouche, you can shoot a lot of moose. And if you want the wood, they are just outside my door. The people here, they are the best of kind. Just have an alpine, sit back and unwind. Well, I hope you comes and likes us, but if you don't, then screw you. There's no shore like. Hello everybody, bonjour tout le monde. Mon nom est Marshall Button. Ça m'a fait un grand plaisir d'être avec vous ce soir en tant que votre divertissement pour le festival du saumon du Campbellton. As you may be aware, we're filming this in your region on this, I'd like to say, beautiful summer day. It's early July, and as only in the North Shore, Mother Nature can be a cruel old bag once in a while, can't she? En tout cas, toutes les occasions que j'ai eues de visiter chez nous, je m'en profite. I love it here. I just couldn't resist in fact coming up to this part of the world, even if it is a bit chilly today. It was important for me to be here to give you this welcome. What we're going to be in for tonight is a look at the North Shore over the last, let's imagine 45, 50 years, most of my lifetime. As you may be aware, I grew up in Dalhousie. Je suis né à Dalhousie, pas loin d'ici. Et je suis né d'une famille, toutes les voitures, salut, comment ça va? D'une famille exogame. Ça veut dire j'avais une mère francophone. My mother was francophone, and my father was born in Newfoundland. So growing up on the North Shore, if you can remember back in those years, there were two principal groups of people who jokes were made about. And you can guess they were Newfoundlanders and French Canadians. We heard a lot of those jokes. So I think part of why I, as a kid, thought that I would get into comedy was because I had to learn all the punchlines of those jokes before everyone else, so they couldn't tell jokes about my background. It's interesting what we think of as humor and what is funny. But the other reason why I gravitated into comedy, as you can remember back in the North Shore of 40, 50 years ago, was to stay alive. It was to avoid getting the shit kicked out of me. That was a big part of I know, you know, this is the elephant in the room, not that I'm in a room, but doing something from Campbellton when you're from Dalhousie, there was always a strong rivalry between starting with the Rangers and the Tigers. If you've been to those hockey games, there was violence on the ice, but there was also violence in the arena. In the early 2000s, you remember we had, nous avons eu les Jeux du Canada l'hiver, ici à Campbellton, ainsi que Bathurst et un peu à Dalhousie. Et ça a été un rassemblement de toutes les communautés du Nord. And when I came up for the launching to host an event here in Campbellton, the people that were organizing it, it was a communications company from Moncton, and they said, whatever you do, Marshall, don't talk about the rivalry between Dalhousie and Campbellton. Don't mention that. And of course, you tell a comedian not to mention that. What's the first thing out of my mouth when I hosted that was I mentioned the rivalry, but I mentioned it because there's no longer a rivalry, as you know. When you grow up here, when we were driving today, we had a sense that, you know, there's Dalhousie and there's Campbellton. And my son, who is driving, who's a cameraman, Jake, said when he was a kid, he used to think it was such a long drive between Campbellton and Dalhousie. And it's not so much of a drive anymore as we come to learn. And also, when the current mayor of Dalhousie is suggesting that we become one community, i.e. the community of Dambleton or Camhousie or whatever, that we join together because as we know, it's not the same place as it was when I was a kid, when the population of Dalhousie was about 6,000 and Campbellton had enough people to actually be a city. But enough about that. I'm going to move into the first monologue of the show. J'ai eu l'occasion de travailler au moulin à Dalhousie quand j'ai fait mes études de l'université pendant les années 70. Imaginez, j'avais la chance de travailler dans un lieu, dans une place que j'ai pu gagner ma vie. Je peux gagner dans ce temps-là. Imaginez en 1977 un salaire de 15 dollars par l'heure. So imagine that, like making $15 an hour in the 1970s when university cost less than $2,000 a year for everything. It would be like a kid making $48 an hour today. So I was very lucky, but I would always work the night shift, and I'd be there with these guys in the mill. And so we're going to start now with an excerpt. This was when I got out of the mill and graduated from Bishop's University, where I had a number of friends from Campbellton who went to Bishop's with me. I would work in the mill, and in the middle of the night would strike up these conversations with some guys who thought they knew everything and would share it with me. So we're going to take you back to imagine somewhere in the 1970s in the paper mill in Dalhousie, which of course is not there anymore, but we're going to take you there right now, and we'll transform from the entrance of Campbellton, New Brunswick, to the interior of the mill in Dalhousie. Comme les gens à Moncton disent, enjoyez-vous bien.
Scales broke. Take a break. Oh, sit down, just take a break. Come on, young fella, just have a seat, là. Oh, it's okay, hein? I'm gonna fix that for you, là. Tiens, there you go. Perfect. Yeah, huh? Come on. Just have a seat, là. Ouais. Wait for the electrician. Wait for the millwright. Wait for the goddamn pipe fitter. Les maudits computers, rien de bon ça. No good for nothing. Hey, quand tu travailles ici, là, je te dis, the main thing about work in this place, I always told the young fella that, là, c'est take your time. Oh, well. Nobody's asking you to work your heart out. Oh, no. Je te dis, là, juste fais ta job, toi. Hein? Safety first. Take your time, puis take a break. Tu ne veux pas travailler out of a job. Now, you don't want to work yourself out of a job. And another thing, I don't say this to all the new fella, you know. Oh, no. You see something you need, là, quelque chose que tu as besoin, là, just pick it up and bring it home. Everybody does that, hein? Disons, c'est efficace, là. It's good for the stuff you need around the house. Oh, ouais. Why think everybody carry those big friggin' lunchbox? Oh, c'est pas pour les lunchs, là. No way. Oh, ouais. De temps en temps, moi, quand j'ai besoin, morceau de pipe, là, wrench, anything around I need there, là, just pick it up, puis bring it home. The way I look at it, young fella, I give a lot to this friggin' company, eh? They owe it to me. In the din. But, let me tell you something, my friend, là, it's like anything else, eh? There's some fella who abuse that system. Oh, ouais, ils vont trop loin. They take that too far. Call this one guy I know, là. Il travaille chez à Yard Service, là. Je ne vais pas mentionner les noms. En tout cas, hey, Diot Fernil River, là, lui, il se construit, il built a whole goddamn piscine, swimming pool with stuff he stole from the mill. Oh, yeah. should take a drive, go back, see that. Shaped like a lunchbox. Hey, le jogging qu'on fait en soir, nous autres, là, that little job, I used to have to do that all by myself. Oh, no, c'était pas pire, disons, là, hey. Wasn't too bad, but don't say nothing to the boss. He's gonna make you sweep the floor. No, young fella, je te dis, là, you can't, c'est quoi, là, faire bénévole, you can't volunteer no more too much extra service around this place. You won't get no break all night. Ah, non. Ben, écoute, là, si tu veux, after lunch, ben, we could, disons, take turn, yeah. Each do both part. Work in shifts. Get more sleep that way. No. You from town, young fella? Tu viens de la ville, toi? Ben, oh, ouais. Ben, qu'est-ce qui ton père, anyway, your father? Oh, ben, the engineer! Oh, ben, smart man! Oh my God, yeah, je connais bien ton père, là. Oh, ben, ta mère était, doucette, là. Oh, ouais, ben, je sortais avec ta tante Lise, là, ben, longtemps passé, là. I used to go out with that, your aunt Lise, long time ago. Oh my God, là. Oh. Ben, toi, tu parles français, t'es un vrai francophone, ben, comment, hein? Juste un petit peu, disons quoi? Not too quick, okay, right on, anyway. Go to school, young fella. Va de l'école. T'es smart, toi. Ah, yeah, you get your school, you keep that, you don't lose that. Trade school? Quoi? University? Must be something like millwright, I suppose. Oh, ben. That's it, young fella, eh? You make the bon choix, là. You go to school, get your trade, you keep that. Je te dis, là, you don't lose that, là. Non, laisse-moi te dire, là, ils peuvent, they could take away everything else in your world, ta vie, là, but they're not gonna take your trade. No. Me, I know. Ben, they could take your truck, ouais, je sais bien, là, ton char, les voitures, tout ça, là, they could take your machine, they could take le meuble, the furniture, they could take your wife, your kid, they could even take your goddamn skidoo. But they're not gonna take your trade. No. Tu gardes ça. Ah, you keep that. Ouais, pour la vie, câlisse. Take a drink, young fella? Me, I take a little drink, là, ben, pas too much, là, temps en temps, disons, là, just once in a while. Ben, tu sais comment ça marche, là, hein? On rencontre des chums, là, on joue aux cartes, we get together, là, take a drink, du Bacardi, de beau stuff, ça. Nick me relax un peu, là, ça m'a fait relaxer, tu sais, là, je vends des bad nerves, ouais, des nerfs, là, disons, le docteur, là, lui, le médecin, il put me on the nerve pill, he make 3 years now. Je vais comme heartsick, là. Ouais, heartsick, bad nerve. Non, de temps en temps, là, tu sais, with the boy, we get together, les Canadiens à Montréal, watch the hockey game, the TV. Yeah, watch the Jerry Springer. Take a drink, là. Hey, don't laugh, young fella. You got better fight on Jerry Springer à cette heure than the friggin' Hockey Fights Canada. Non. Disons, temps en temps, time to time with the ball. That's it, that's all. But, I don't smoke dope. It's crazy stuff that, huh? Bad on the brain, make you crazy. Me, I know. Look! Mon cousin, lui, de second cousin, là, à cette île, il reste à côté d'un médecin, là, il m'a tout conté ça. He told me all about that, là, du marijuana. Crazy stuff. I'm telling you, young fella, you smoke that stuff, you're gonna come so friggin' crazy, là, you're liable to, say, là, climb up on top of a goddamn crane, jump right off. Me, I know. I used to drive a crane, but I had to stop. Bad nerve. Ouais. Tous les problèmes du monde à cette heure-là, je te jure, là, all the problem with the world today, là, c'est la dope qui fait ça. Ah, tout le monde est sur la dope. Ah, the whole world is all doped up, là. Don't get me started with that, young fella. Oh, yeah, all that gang, là, up all the wall. Justin Trudeau, là, lui, on the dope. Oh, ouais. That's it there. That's why he started that pandemic, là. He's after all the best dope for himself. Oh, yeah. Oh, frig off, là. He growed a nice beard, là. He got his own hotline down in the state. They got the hotline with Russia, là. Trudeau, he got the hotline with the Middle East. He got the Lebanese hash. Oh, yeah, he's full of dope. Oh, yeah, that bunch up there, là. Trudeau, oh my God, he saved all the best Lebanese hash for himself, là. Make that all black, put that on his face, go on the party. Oh, yeah, the crazy arse conservatoire, the conservative, là, Aaron O'Toole, well, that is your first clue, he's a friggin' tool, that fella, tool on the dope. That bunch, Hamid Singh, là, NDP, là, he keep all the dope in le truc, le thing in his head, là, full of dope. With the Green Party, the mess they're in, that one down, Fredericton, là, she quit the party, là, Jessica Chatwin, là, why? Because they're all doped up, là. Green Party, GREEN, ça veut dire, that stand for Government Research Expert Enjoy Narcotic. Oh, yeah. And down in the state, don't get me started with that. Holy frick. Oh, yeah, they're crazy. That guy they kick out, Donald Trump. No, he wasn't on the dope. No. It's the 74 million people who vote for that arse pick. Oh, my God. They're all doped up down there, And don't get me started ici, là. Nouveau-Brunswick, blame Hitler, that crazy arse, squarehead boss, là. Oh, yeah. Imagine that. The only place in the world they lose money, sell the dope. Oh, yeah. Because he keep that all for the boss down there. All the dope down Fredericton, jeez, oh crap. They're all doped up, là. Oh, Dr. Jennifer Russell, oh, yeah. Pill pusher, that's all. Oh. Hey, wouldn't be long the friggin' priest be smoking that. Watch out. Smoke dope, young fella? Got some on ya? No. Me, I know one thing. Je me fie, I don't depend on nothing in this world no more. Oh, je te jure, right? Except my truck. Oh, she got good torque, hein? Hey, elle peut hauler. Laisse-moi te dire, young fella, là, pendant l'hiver, quand il neige, là, put that in the four-wheel drive and she got good torque, hein? Ah ouais. I don't go for all, disons, les options, tu sais, là, all the extra, they call that, là. You know, some fella got the tapis sur la dash, oh, yeah, the 8-track, GPS, woman talk to you like on the PMS, là, oh, frig, là. Some fella got the little hand that waved everybody, no, screen. I don't go for all that. I go for torque and torque alone. Important, ça. Je me fie. I could depend on that. I always depend on my truck. Good job tonight, eh? The boss gonna come by and fix that machine ou quoi, là? Hey, don't get me wrong, young fella. I like it like this, eh? Tranquille, quiet, don't have to kill yourself. Nice long break. We get it like this here, pas too much. Temps en temps, enjoy it while you got it. Là. Hey, me, I've been here in finishing department il y a presque 12 ans. Là. Oh my God. Before that, well, I drove a crane. Puis avant ça, I used to be with Groundwood. Là. Tu déjà travaillé là, toi, le Groundwood? What a goddamn awful place. Celle-ci, là, oh, ben, c'était pas pire, les empensés, tu sais, là. On avait le gros bois, puis les machines marchait slow. But as to get out of there, young fella, there was too much, comment tu dis ça, là, la stress, ouais. My pressure built up, I got all red the face, cholesterol all over the place, pas de bois, pas de polar, le bois est gros comme le piscette de cowboys, là. Small wood. Hey, won't be long, I'll be eligible for that fancy 25-year tie pin they give out, là. Right? I've been finishing so long, I'm almost done. Oh my God, yes, j'en ai plus de cigarettes. Fumes-tu? You smoke, young fella? No? Never mind that. Okay, I know, young fella, you're not supposed to smoke no more in the world, in size no more. But the way I look at it, you know, I was raised Catholic. Don't get me started with Catholic, là. It's not a good reputation lately, but I was raised Catholic. Puis le prêtre, là, the priest always told us, là, you know, you think about something bad, you're going to make the sin by think about that. So the way I figure, if I'm thinking about having a smoke, I may as well light the goddamn thing right up and make a good friggin' sin for sure. Hey. You see that, là? Hey, that's the dangerous drug, that. Right? Oh, the picture they put on there, oh my God. Me, I know. I tried to quit one time. Anyway, c'était pas pire, tu sais, là, not too bad. J'étais sur la gomme. Tu sais, là, you remember the gum, young fella, there, they have that, là. Anyway, me, I chewed gum for a whole week, then I got a sore jaw. I was in Camelton. It was Sunday. Puis la pharmacie était fermée. Plus de gars. Tu sais là, you know à Camelton, là, où c'était le vieux restaurant Paul, là. Excuse me, you mean, there used to be the old Paul restaurant up there, là. Anyway, me, I was on the outside looking in. Oh, there was a woman sit on the counter. She was smoking. God, at least she could have been naked. All I could see is a goddamn cigarette looked that big. What? Whoa, gross quand même. Hey, she was a good-looking woman or two. Me, I walk right in there, been smoking 2-pack a day ever since. What? Dangerous drug. Oh, boy. Huh? Never mind. Me, I quit school, grade 8. Hey, I might be stupid, but I make 31, 33 an hour. Hey, young fella, here he comes. Hey, look busy. Well, here he comes, là, hein? Johnny the boss, lui, là, hein? Good old numbnuts. Okay, young fella, take your time. Safety first. You don't want to work yourself out of a job.
Donc, c'était un extrait de la pièce de théâtre, ma première pièce intitulée Lucien. So I wrote a play in the mid-1980s based on my experiences working in the mill. And that was essentially pretty much unchanged, of course, to except for the references, the political references, which changed throughout the years. That's pretty much the opening sequence of that show that has remained unchanged and really remained unchanged from my days when I worked in the mill. Most of the stuff in the show, especially the first show, when people say, "Oh, how did you make that up? Comment tu as trouvé le matériel pour votre spectacle?" C'était par hasard au lieu de par exprès. It came to me because most of the stuff I did in that show were real things that happened to me while working in the mill. You may have gathered the lingo, la manière que le personnage Lucien, de manière qu'il parle. It's a mixture, like what we do on the North Shore, a little bit of French and English. Donc c'était un francophone qui a dû expresser, parler en anglais. C'est quelque chose qui arrive souvent. Very much, as we know, in Canada and this part of the world, where there are someone who doesn't speak French, and most francophones are bilingual, so that was kind of the idea behind the show. And as you know, on the North Shore we have our own expressions. When I travel and do this show, I talk a little bit about some of the expressions we have. Like, for example, I'm sitting here in front of the giant salmon at this moment. We could say now, but on the North Shore, on a tendance à dire right there now. So right there now, I'm in front of the salmon. Those of us comme moi, c'est évident, moi je suis grandi surtout comme anglophone. J'ai parlé majoritairement du temps en anglais, c'est évident, mais tous les anglos étaient influencés par le monde francophone. So even people who don't speak French would use expressions like, I went to the hairdresser to get them cut. You say them cut. You say mes cheveux en français. And the other thing is we have a tendency to use the word there. Like we say, it's kind of cool today there, eh, there? C'est comme en français on dit là. En Moncton, il y a le dialecte, c'est chiac. Ben, effectivement, c'est l'envers du chiac. C'est quand la manière qu'on parle anglais au nord, c'est complètement influencé par la langue française. So moving on, I debuted that show as a full-length show in 1986. I thought I would do it 1 week and be done with it. I was in Fredericton, and here I am, 40 years down the road pretty much, and almost 40 years, and I'm still doing the damn show in some form or other. But the show seemed to hit a vibe to the point where I got a chance to tour all over Canada. Donc pendant ma carrière, j'ai eu la chance de tourner partout, un peu aux États, même en Europe et en Afghanistan. J'ai eu l'occasion de jouer en Afghanistan il y a 15 ans. So it got me all over the place. But when I had my first national tour back in 1987, it coincided with my dad, who I mentioned was from Newfoundland, Ron Button, who had so much influence on me, my humor, and my career. He was retiring that year, or just that month from the mill, and I knew it would be a big adjustment for him. So I called him. I said, Dad, why don't you come out on the tour, and we'll have a chance to cross the Rockies 5 times. Wouldn't that be great? Because of the way the tour went. So he came, and he said, you know, Marsh, what got me, because growing up here, and you can see the beautiful mountains we have behind us, la belle rivière Restigouche, les montagnes. He said it wasn't the mountains, the prairies that got me, because he being from Newfoundland and living on the North Shore all most of his life. It was the prairie. We were traveling all in southern Alberta, and he was struck by that. It looked like the ocean. What Dad would do, and this is a regular routine, we'd check into a motel, say somewhere in rural Alberta or BC, and you got to remember this is before the internet. So Dad would get in the motel room, and he'd open the phone book, and first thing you do would look for the name Button, the surname. It's a Newfoundland name, and if he saw the name Button, he would invariably call it up and say, oh, my name's Button, who are you? Blah, 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 and he'd get talking to them. And the other thing he would do, if there were no buttons, he'd look for names like that he'd recognize from the North Shore. So he'd see the name in Arsenault or Boudreau or Mallet, whatever these names, or Brown, people he knew from McRae. He'd just call that number and say, well, I'm from a place in northern New Brunswick. I know McRae. Would you be related? That kind of thing. And the people thought he was crazy because, it was the West. They're not as friendly as they are around here. Anyway, he'd say, no, don't want anything. But meanwhile, he'd say, well, I'm in town. My son's doing this play. It's at such and such a theater. So not only did he kind of make a friend over the phone, but also did some advertising for the show. And, odds are those people would show up at the show. So when you think about it, my father invented friggin' Facebook. There you go. So moving on, I got a call. I'd been working at a theater in Ontario. And I got a call from the director of theater in New Brunswick, said, would you like to do a sequel to the play? And I said, oh my God, a sequel? What is this, The Godfather? No, I can't do that. But then again, I realized they pay me to do that, so I got thinking, well, what's going on in my home province of New Brunswick? And this was the years in the early 90s when we had none other than Frank McKenna as the premier. McKenna, il s'agit un peu comme le dieu du Nouveau-Brunswick. Il a changé nos politiques, il a changé nos affaires. He was the one that said we have to stop relying on these jobs of hewers of wood and drawers of water and stop worried about paper mills, and we got to be our own boss and take the bull by the horns. And he changed everything. So I thought, well, how would Lucien react to that? And then I thought, well, the mill that I worked at, that once had over 1,500 employees, who by the mid '90s were down to about 500 or 600, changed quite a bit, and they could see the writing. Some of the guys could see the writing on the wall. So I thought, well, what if Lucien bought into McKenna's philosophy and became a self-employed businessman? I thought, what if he bought a little bar? Now, back when I was a teenager in the North Shore, drinking and driving was more of a sport than a crime, and there were bars on the outskirts of town, and people would go there and drink all night. And it's not, I shouldn't joke about this, it's sad. They would drive around and drive home after those nights of heavy drinking. So I decided to create this fictitious little bar called the Wooden Squirrel, where Lucien would be the proprietor. And that's where the next scene is going to take us. And just being here, it's great. The festival's going on. Il y a des événements partout. J'ai vu un homme qui vend des saucisses à l'extérieur de chez West. On n'est pas loin de chez West, là. C'est un peu ouest de nous autres. And but as I traveled, I realized something, that I had what I call the 30-60 rule, and this never failed. No matter where I was, anywhere that I toured to, within 30 minutes I would meet someone who was born within 60 minutes of where I grew up here on the North Shore. So whether I was in remote northern BC and the principal of the school up there was from Kedgewick, or I'm in this little remote town in southern Saskatchewan, and the janitor of the facility of the theater that we're playing at says he was born in Bathurst. It just never failed. So the 30-60 rule. So we'll leave you with that and take you now to a little dingy bar, maybe somewhere between Campbellton, if you imagine where the old Cedar Lodge was, somewhere up in there, somewhere between Dalhousie Junction and McLeod Siding, or maybe on the road to Dundee, a little bar called the Wooden Squirrel.
Give me your hand, friend, you're in a good town. Give me your hand, friend, you'll like it here. Woo! Friendship is the key in this locality. I'm your friend and you're my bon ami.
I tell you, young fellow, here, the best damn thing they ever come up with, huh? We close her down pretty good. Oh, biggest damn beer cup tipi toute la soirée. Puis moi, j'ai terminé en 3e position. I come in 3rd with arm wrestle. Come on into the bar, young fella. Let me buy you one more drink. Hey, I got my prize right on. Assieds-toi, come on. Have a little seat right there, young fella, huh? Why not? Off the wagon for one night on the house. I find some Bacardi back here somewhere, huh? Oh, hey, just like old time on the night shift, hey, young fella? Ouais. There you go, all the fancy thing for the young fella. Right on. I got my vest là, my uniform, watch là. Ouais, that's the best thing there when you own the bar, you know what I mean? You can drink away all the profit. 3 o'clock in the morning, even Frank McKenna don't give a shit. Right on. Hey. Dis-moi, young fella, excuse me, tell me, where was that, t'as parlé avant, là, ta femme, là, your wife, where's the young wife you was talking about before? I never seen her tonight, là, where you hide that? You got the secret, huh? Quoi? You come in here tonight to talk about what? Sorry about that. Je m'excuse là, je pense. Je suis pas la personne. You know, you're talking to the wrong man here when it comes to love. Disons, là, you know, you love her, she love you, that's supposed to work. But I can't say why she don't. What? It's like the fella said, you know, young fella? Last year, 30% of marriage end with divorce. The other 70% decide to hang on for one more year. There you go, young fella. Hey, have a little drink, now. Down the drain, make you forget, now. Oh, right on. Cheerio, my beerio, now. Oh, no, I'm not joking about that, now. That's okay, young fella. No, I know what you're going through with all that, now. You want to talk about that, now? I'm a bartender. Read my goddamn job description, là. They say, though, the man's, là, les hommes comme nous autres, là, on n'est pas qualifiés, tu sais, là, you know, we're not the best creature to talk about love. You know what we should do, young fella, you and me for all time, là? No, I know what you're going through because I've been there, done that, got the settlement papers. You know, we should make a promise, the two of us, to stay away from the woman for good. Why not? Then lock ourselves up in the bar, read the book, study life, keep our nose clean. Worst thing they ever done, young fella, change the law to let the woman in the taverns. You know what you need, young fella? One good week back in the wood with the boy. Oh, that fix you're gonna make your achy breaky heart better. Hey, what? You don't like that? T'aimes pas ça, la chasse, là? You don't like to hunt? Oh my God, you don't know what you're missing, young fella. Hey, je te jure, I'm telling you, there's nothing like that. One good week in the wood with the boy, a lot of gun, fatty food, extra gas, truck full of booze, just don't get no better than that. Right on. Earth, river, fire, right on in the wood. But c'est comme tout autre chose. C'est là, there's not all the man's is smart with that. Some of them, they're not really in that for the hunting. They just want to run away from the wife in the wood for the week. They don't belong with us for that. But other guy, là, par contre, là, il y a des hommes, là, ils fous, là. They're what they call kill crazy. Yeah, they just want to make something die, n'importe quoi. Hein? They're worse. They don't belong in Canada. But us guy that like that in the wood, la chasse, la hunting, la, you know, we're the last of the dying breed. Think about that. Year ago, la, man has to hunt for survive, pour la vie. You know, he had to go in the wood for the food. Now, man, he got to hunt, for the good paying union job. No, I not joke about that. That's okay, young fella. You talk about that, I could be the love doctor, me too, Frig off. Frig off, Dr. Phil, va chier, sexy sous, Me, I could be the love doctor too. No, it's time. It's time, young fella. You talk, I listen. Oh, Jésus, Marie, Joseph, that make me depressed. I don't know what to say about that, young fella. Like I said, the man is not built for that, but you know, you and me, we're gonna move forward, You know, I see a lot of animal in my day, okay, in the wood, way partout, but I never see two animals is more different from each other than the man and the woman. Oh, it's true, I'm telling you, young fella. You know, if they're going out somewhere, par exemple, you know, they're going out for the night, the woman, she gone make herself all ready. The man, he watch the ball game on TV. That woman, she must say to that man, du moins 35 fois, Dépêche-toi, she say. Dépêche-toi. Hurry up. They're never ready on time. Dépêche-toi, Finally, the man, he goes to get himself up, bought him a of the ninth inning, the score is tied. He go on out, sit in the car 15 minutes, woman still inside, dépêche-toi, hurry up. All those things that make man is different from the woman, that go back too many years for you and me to count. Say no, long before we was a dinosaur. Oh, yeah, Jesus Christ. You know, it's crazy. Like, if a man, he wants liberté, say, he just wants a little time out with the boy. You know what he say to the woman? I'm going out with the boy. The woman, she said, don't go out. The man, he said, okay, no problem, I'll not go out. What you want me to do instead? I don't know. Well, what you want me to do? I don't care. Why did you fix the toilet? You say, what's wrong with the toilet? You never told me nothing about that. Yes, I did. I told you about this one. No, you did. Yes, I did. No, you did. Yes, I did. No. Yes. No. Yes. Couldn't have been me. Must have been some other guy stay here. The one you get along with. No, maudit fou, I told you about that this morning. Well, I can't do nothing about that now. Canadian Tire is closed. I'm going out. No, yes, no, yes, no. Well, what the hell you want me to do instead? I don't care. Just leave me alone. Pas de problème, ma femme. Plus tard, I'm going out. Oh, you're a pig. All men are pig, 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 pig. You want to go to the boy? I say no. No means no. Oh, Jesus, Marie Joseph, that make me depressed, huh? Oh my God, young fella. It's a crazy life we got here. Oh my God, the goddamn Bonami Festival, a bunch of drunk, Only thing worse than that is the Festival du Saumon, Camelton, Oh, yeah. They all get drunk on fiddlehead. Oh my God, don't let me start with that. Tabarouette, eh? I'm supposed to go see the doctor, me. I gotta get un autre check-up, disons, là, for my nerve. But I'm too scared to go. Calice, every time I got to go see the doctor, no matter what is the wrong, he always got to stick his finger up my bum. I went there last year. Heart murmur. He said, pull down your pants. I turn around, he's doing this. I say, what you gonna do that for? He say, I'm just gonna massage your prostitute gland. I say, I want that massage, I go down the wharf. Oh, God. Anyway, that no good médecin, he m'a grabbé, he grabbed a hold of me like the six-pack, and he whisper in my ear, Lucien, you better think about losing 15, 20 pounds. Jeez, oh Christ, I got the massage with that. I think how I gonna do that, young fella? I was always before more skinny than now, you know, I never had problem with the weight, diet, des choses comme ça, Anyway, I think how I gonna do that, I don't like the salad, me I got an awful sucré, sweet tooth, and the only exercise I get is from remote control. You young people, you don't know how good you got it. When I was your age, I used to have to walk to change a channel on the TVs.
My God, il commence à faire beau. C'est si chaud là, j'avais l'occasion d'enlever mon t-shirt. I took off my long underwear in July, and it must be July in the North Shore. I'm able to stand here on solid ground with a t-shirt. Comme vous avez remarqué, on est dans le cimetière, pas loin d'Atholville. We were driving along Roseberry, and I said, oh, this would be a nice place. J'ai quelques parents qui, comme la plupart de vous autres, j'imagine, qui a des ancêtres, des parents qui dansent ce cimetière. So, cet cimetière. I'm here because it's a beautiful spot. We were driving down Roseberry and turned up because I got inspired by a story. I remember when I was at Bishop's, quand j'ai mentionné, j'ai fait mes études au Québec, à l'Université Bishop's, and j'avais un ami de Camelton, one of my close friends there, and he remains a good friend, Danny Leblanc, le frère de bien connu, le fameux John LeBlanc, our ex-NHLer and hockey coach here in Campbellton. Well, Danny and I would, being outside of our region, and again, you know, Campbellton and Dalhousie, they're two separate, boring places, but when you're all together, as you've experienced this, all of you, when you're all together, you become one. And we love sharing stories of home. And what got me thinking of this area is that little hill. I think Danny called it Mackenzie's Hill. It could be called something else, but the little hill when you're coming down Roseberry before you turn up Cemetery here. He said, well, that's where we used to call Seattle. And I said, Seattle? He said, yeah, because that's the point where, you know, you're up at the top of the hill and you can see Seattle. As we know, Atholville is the engine that drives the economy in this part of the world, but we're not going to talk about rivalries between Atholville and Campbellton at this point because we want to talk about the beauty. My Aunt Catherine Bremner is buried behind me. But of course over here is the spectacular Sugarloaf. It's the iconic shot. It's perhaps the most photographed hill in Atlantic Canada, and it's been used to promote tourism in Nova Scotia. Years ago with the Keddies, they had this big brochure to say, welcome to Nova Scotia. It was actually a picture of the Sugarloaf Mountain, but I digress. So I finished with that show, Lucien's Labor Lost, and had a good run, and it continues to play in some form, in some place, at least in my mind. And I was working in Ontario, as I mentioned, and again during this time I continued to perform the play all across Canada. And it's funny because when I would be in Ontario, I was at the theater I worked at was not far from Cornwall, and people used to think, oh, that's a guy from Cornwall. Or when I was performing in Northern Ontario, say, do that Sudbury guy. So définitivement, il y a un lien entre le nord du Nouveau-Brunswick et quelques zones partout du pays. C'est évident. We have a lot of Campbellton and Dalhousies in the rest of Canada, certain parts of northern Saskatchewan. I've heard people speak like we do at home, and little places like Iroquois Falls, Ontario, or Kapuskasing, you think you were in Dalhousie or Campbellton. But I at the theater in Ontario, when I moved back to work in New Brunswick, I was living here, and then my friend, who is many people in Campbellton will remember the name Donnie Bowes. Donnie taught a school here in Campbellton for about 5 or 6 years, made a great impact. He taught drama to hundreds and hundreds of kids, and did some theater while he was here, and then he decided to leave teaching and become a full-time theater professional. So sure enough, Donnie was a successful actor all over Canada, and now he runs the theater that I used to run, the Upper Canada Playhouse. So Donnie called me and said, I want you to do another Lucien show. So I said, oh my God, this is crazy. It's like stopping being the grandfather. Now I'm into Fast and Furious. I got so many versions of the show. But I decided to do a play in the early 2000s called Snowbird, Lucien Snowbird, and where Lucien goes to Florida for his first ever trip outside of New Brunswick. And that was a time when George Bush was president, and the whole play was about how crazy and wacky politics were in the U.S., as if we'd crave for those days during the last 4 years in the U.S. And then finally in the late 2000s, he called again to make a fourth show. And so I decided to work on a little piece called Helter Smelter. And I came up with a title. It's a play on words, but of course we have the smelter, but it's all about the changing climate. It's kind of weird that in one day here it feels like it was snowing earlier, and now it's quite mild and nice here in Campbellton. And but it's all about climate change. And I thought, well, this young fella who is the character that you meet always in these scenes that I've shot for you in front of a clever use of green screen, by the way, just me in my studio in Moncton and changing the backgrounds. But the young fella is in the empty chair in the mill, and he's at the bar stool, and he's on the beach. It's a chance meeting because the young fella has gone through a divorce, had marriage troubles like Lucien, and is on another honeymoon, so there's a chance encounter on a beach in Florida. And this last one, the young fella comes home, and Lucien invites him out to his smelt shanty. And the events of this show, this excerpt that you're about to see, were based on a real event that happened about 10, 15 years ago, where a great ice flow, il y avait comme un grand morceau de glace détaché, puis il y a certaines personnes dans les cabines de déferlant étaient en péri. So people were in danger for a while, but of course their search and rescue came in and no lives were lost. But it got so mild here that in middle of March, early March, where normally everything's frozen solid on the bay here in the river, the ice broke away and they're in peril. And that's what this next excerpt is all about. And a little thing about the young fella is, yes, Marshall Button performs as Lucien, but really the person who writes the show and looks from the outside in is that empty chair. That's how I've created all the pieces. I feel in some ways that Marshall is sitting in the empty chair when Lucien is performing on stage. So enjoy-vous bien.
Like I say, young fella, me, I spend my whole life up here on the North Shore, and I got to see I never seen nothing like those last 5 winter we have around here. Je veux dire, the last 5 winter we did not have. Pretty soon only going to be 2 seasons left, the mosquito season and the mosquito season. Well, what I say to that is thank you very much, Lord, that, that crazy teenager, the Sweden, whatever, Greta Bjornborg, oh yeah. Yeah, she come over here, she told us that, oh yeah, we're crazy if we use toilet paper. She sail over on the solar-powered sailor boat, with battery, everything, She say, kiss me yours, Donald Trump, Oh yeah. Well, like I say, I spend my whole life living in a place so friggin' cold you could freeze a stink off a piece of dog shit. We'll take it. We'll take the global warnings, Why should Florida get all the tourist business, young fella? You and me, why not? Gone into business, start our own friggin' Nouveau Brunswick Club Med, Oh, yeah. We could make advertise, au Québec. Venez vous visiter nos petits cousins québécois, On a la plage est prête pour vous autres, N'oublie pas tes speedo rouges, watch that. Hey, we could send some poster over to Newfoundland. You're thinking of driving south next winter? Save on gas. We got the Birch Creek party for all you guys all set up. Newfie girl gone wild. Woo! Hey, we got something. It's on the. Oh my God! Jeez, that neck. Ouais, maudit paquet de cigarettes là. Des cochons ici, they throw everything in the fishing hole, My God, they don't shit in there and that's all, Oh, no, I seen that movie, Yeah. It's crazy what's going on in the world, with that fella Al Gore, He said the world is a giant, like I see microwave set to defrost. Anyway, usually around here, young fella, d'habitude, je veux dire, you're going to tell the time of the year you're in, by look at the calendars on the wall. Say, well, d'habitude, anyway, around here, for the most part, October start pretty darn cold. Janvier, that's freeze your nut off cold, Le mois de mars, March, snow, definitely snow, May, more snow, and July, that means you finally got a little chance to fix up the snow blowers. But with all this réchauffement going on all over the planet, everything's all screwed up. But that's okay, young fella, because us crowd up here, we live close to the water, on the North Shore, we don't really have to go on by the calendars on the wall. Now, usually around here, we're going to tell you what month you're in by what kind of fish is on the plate. Yeah. Moi, never mind. I don't go for the vitamin pill or the exercice, J'ai mon propre secret. I got my own secrets pour la longue vie, moi. C'est, en mangeons des poissons. That's me. I eat fish almost every day of my life. Pretty much every day I eat fish. You know something, young fella? I suppose I got so much mercury in my body right there now, là. You really don't need to, yeah, you want to take the temperature, you don't have to go on with the thermometer, just check my sideburn, là. Oh. Yeah, so much mercury in there, là. I'm lucky in that respect because I get up night time, take a leak, I don't have to turn the light on no more, no? The wieners glows in the dark, but I don't care. I'm the fishy fella me. OK, ensuite, là, we start out our year up on the janvier, février, on est mars, là, OK? Ben, c'est les épargnants, the smelt. La raison laquelle on est ici, là, hey, smelt hunter, you and me, là. Oh, the most sucré, the most sweet fish we got around here. I guess because all those friggin' Acadians that live around here with their pit de seul, sugar pie, là, and every goddamn toilet and down the flush goes out under the water, under the ice in the bay, and the smelt all feed on that. But I don't care. There's nothing like a good feed of smelt, là, with a quart of rum. I think that's what they mean when they see you get the shit face on the North Shore. Okay. After le mois d'avril, April, okay, that's that's the most tasty fish we got, young fella. Oh yeah, you get the nice new potato in the pot with the herrings, look, boil that all together. There's nothing like that. I know they're full of bone, but it's like my brother always said, Lucien, le meilleur façon, là, the best ways to eat them is when they're half cut. You see, the bones go down your throat with everything else, you don't give a shit, là. Okay, ensuite, mois de mai, June's, là, ouais. That's the friggin' homard! The king of New Brunswick fish, the lobster. Oh my, food for the big shot. Oh yeah, big shot now with 4 bats, là. Oh yeah. Yeah, it's like the fella says, young fella, what's the difference between the lobster and the small town lawyer? Well, one is a scum-sucking bottom dweller and the other is the fish. Oh yeah, but there's nothing like the good feed of lobster, North Shore style, in season, once you get past the lawyer taste. Oh my God, never used to be like that. In my province, geez, oh crap, used to be the food for the poor peoples. I remember my mother would send us to school with the homemade bread, lobster sandwich on a jarru. So jealous of all the mill boss kids with their nice bread from the store and pressed meat with macaroni. What'd you get? Pressed meat, you. Goddamn lobster again. Baloney show off. Oh, $12 to $15, $16 a pound they're getting for that now. Oh, what a mess. Okay, after that, around the end of June into July, oh my God, that's the #1 fish we got, or we used to got, the salmon. Oh, that's when the bright salmon starts to come back in the river, going up there, the Baie de Chaleur, into Restigouche, hold their nose past Allenville, up Kedgewick, oh my God, it's terrible, you know. When I was a kid, we used to go down the beach, watch the fishermen's, with their net, take as much salmon as they want, just like going to the store. Hey, talk about that, young fella. You know, you must have seen, they done the surveys, and they talk to the young people, and they say, ask them where their food come from, and the young people, they say, oh, I don't know, Sobeys, Superstore, Co-op. They were surprised to find out that the fish come from the ocean, and oh yeah, and the bacon come from the pig. Little kid, oh no, not the poor cute pig. Hey, when I was a little kid, we used to have pig in the backyard, not for the pet, I could tell you that. No Charlotte Webbs in my backyard. No. When you watch your father, puis mon oncle, kill the pig real slow, it make you appreciate your meat. Anyway, there's no more. That's the problem. You can't get the wild salmon from here in the store no more. Oh, yeah, on peut blâmer. I guess we have to blame the Russian factory shit, les bateaux, les Chinois, blame China, blame Quebec, blame the foreign country. That's the Canada way. But we got nobody to blame about that than ourselves. What a fish, eh? born in the river, jig around for a couple of years, smoke, fall. After that, they take off and go on the cruise in the ocean, fatten themselves up. Visit Greenland, Ireland, Kazakhstan, and get nice and fat. And after that, young fella, they come back to the Restigouche River to make the baby within a couple of feet of the exact spot they was born. Wow! Just like all those New Brunswicker going Fort McMurray, I guess. Anyway, there's no more wild salmon for us. Too bad, dommage. Okay, after that, mois de juillet, that's the time, les morues, jig and cod, that was a good fun, but now the cod is gone from the East Coast, just like all the high-paying union job, and just like all the support for Aaron O'Toole, man, jeez, oh crap. Okay, after August, September, well, that's the most fun you could have fishing on the river and the bay out here, like mackerel, hey, mackerels, my God, they have fun. What the people's done, young fella, they pour the gut, the sand, the chum in the water, and watch them come like the little shark. They gone crazy. Oh my God, what a time fishing that. Put about 5 or 6 hook on your line, show the macro, picture a bare naked lady, fill your boats, right on. Okay, then after October, November, hey, les huîtres. Yeah, we have to go down Scarricket, but the oyster, they got that. Oh my God, most powerful fish we got. Powerful, I guess. Eat about 12 of them after the 12-hour shift and hope your wife, she's happy to see you come home. And that only leave 1 month left for you to can all those fish, fix up your net, and ask Père Noël to come and dig you 1 more bucket of clam to keep that mercury level up for 1 more year. Right on. I said it before, I'm going to say it again once more. There's no shore like the North Shore, that's for sure.
Donc, maintenant, on rentre presque à la fin de notre soirée, le spectacle comme tel. What you've seen so far are excerpts from 3 of the 4 main plays that involve the character of Lucien. Il y avait plusieurs d'autres présentations pendant les années. Aside from all the Lucien shows, you may be aware, I've done some work with another colleague of mine, Sandy Gillis, who's got a great connection to Campbellton. He was the station manager for CKNB back in the 90s, and then he developed, while he was here, he used to do it a little bit on air on CKNB, his character of Jimmy the janitor. And Jimmy and Lucien get together, they're good pals, and in one of the shows, Lucien and Jimmy are having a talk, and Lucien kept saying, well, Jimmy, you know, the young fella said this, young fella, and then finally Jimmy says, Lucien, what were you talking about, boy? And Lucien, well, the young fella, and he goes, well, what do you point to? So Lucien points to the empty chairs I mentioned during our last little narration about the empty chair syndrome, and Jimmy says, I hate to break it to you, buddy, but there's nobody there. There's nothing. To which Lucien responds, Jimmy, he might be nothing to you, but he's kept me going for the last 35 years. And this character and this region have kept me going all of my life. I'm so happy to be standing here, as I call it, God's country for me. When you move away, je demeure à Moncton présentement, donc c'est pas loin, ben c'est loin assez. So it's never out of your heart when you move away from a place like this, and any chance I have to come and be among the beautiful area and of course the beautiful people who live here I take. And I want to say, you know, the mill in Dalhousie is gone, the rivalry between Dalhousie and Campbellton is gone, but certain things remain, and that's the fundamental spirit of the people up here. We keep our sense of humor no matter what. I'm so proud to be from this area where it taught me to never take myself too seriously, to appreciate the beauty and the wonder and the natural resources, and the fact that I can cross that damn bridge and buy cheap beer. Awesome. So, all I ever wanted to do, c'était mon seul but pendant toutes mes expériences que j'ai vécues pendant ma vie, c'est de rendre hommage, to kind of put a spotlight on the people who work their whole lives and support their families, and without complaining too much, work in jobs like paper mills and live in a great place like northern New Brunswick. So I thought I'd leave you with this last little bit that I've just developed this year with the character, and c'est au sujet de la COVID-19. What would Lucien have to say about COVID-19 to a young fella who just crossed that bridge into Campbellton, coming back to his roots for the first time in many years? Donc, merci tout le monde, salut la visite. Thank you so much for spending a good part of your evening with me. This is going to stay on YouTube if you want to share it with others, or watch it again, or watch parts of it, or just delete it. C'est votre choix. Thank you very much. Merci tout le monde. Et, bon festival du saumon. Et j'espère que vous allez passer un bel été. Have a great summer, and we'll catch you on the flip-flop.
Young fella! Jeez, oh cripes! It was that really you? Oh my God, I've not seen you for so long. But how the hell they ever let you inside our crazy province lock up like the Chas Diddy belt? Oh, right there now, we're locked up more tight than a pair of the pantalon cuir, the Patsy Galette leather pant back in 1969. What happened, young fella? They stop you à Madapédia, là? Give you the full body cavity search, Quebec style? Avez-vous quelque chose à déclarer? Yeah, I got something to declare. I don't like your friggin' finger up me arse. Quoi? Huh? You make the 2 weeks quarantine. What happened, là? Oh, pas de shot. Oh, never mind, eh? Me, I got the double dose, là. Oh, yeah. Yeah, I got the Pfizer appetizer and the AstraZeneca up the Cheneca, là. Right on. I'm all fixed up. Hey, t'es bien correct, là, hein? On garde notre social distancing. Oh, frig. T'es bien correct, là, si je porte pas un masque. Those friggin' thing, the mask. Don't get me started like that. Oh my God. Hein? Oh, yeah. Those friggin', c'est comme Halloween chaque jour, right there now. Oh yeah, it's Halloween, and avec notre TV star, là, Talk Moistly, Justin Trudeau, Loup-garou, lui, pass out all the treat. He's crazy with the mask, là. Ouais, c'est ça, young fella. Quand ton girlfriend make you wear the mask to bed, it's not what we used to think when she say faut user la protection. En plus, young fella, ouais, des gars, il y avait comme une pancarte chez Walmart à Atholville, là, a big sign up there at Walmart. Si tu rentres dans la store sans masque, without the mask, we're gonna have to take your temperature. PS, on a yank des rectal thermometer. C'est pour ça, that's why I always keep the second mask for me, mon cul, my rear end, là. Ever since the start of COVID, I don't know me arse from a hole in my face. Hey, mon chum Roger, lui, il a dû avoir un test pour la COVID. Oh, he has to friggin' go for that, là, big line-up. L'arena, inch Erin, là, inch by inch, the line gone, là, Erin, my God. I guess he shove un genre de bâton de hockey stick, là, so far up his nose that they're gonna, down the throats, gonna find that next time he going for the colonoscopy test, là. Oh, yeah. Anyway, young fella, never mind, j'ai mon pot, I got my own treatment, I got my remède, whatever you call that, là, for the COVID. Chaque soir, je prends le vitamine A. Hein? Vitamin A for Alpine. Don't get me started with that. Oh, yeah. The bridge is closed. I gotta drink Alpine. Right on. Oh. You know, thing was so bad on the North Shore, là. Je te dis, ce jour, là. Last fall, on était quasiment fiers devant les most COVID cases. Yeah, we were number one for something, I guess. Yeah, we even had the big shot, the Fredericton come up, là. Oh, ouais. #1 sex symbol, Dr. Jennifer Russell, come up with the dream team. Put the boot to the North Shore Kovic Spike. Yeah, Jennifer, I guess they start the new Playboy magazine for 80-year-old fella. They got Jennifer on the cover. She wear only the lab coat with the rubber glove all set for you. Oh, it's crazy up here. Jeez, oh crap. They're starting the new Grand Prix wrestling style. Oh, yeah. Don't blame me, Killer Hig take on Ngola the Crusher. Oh, that's the cage match for sure. Oh. Anyway, young fella, he's crazy though. Oh, yeah. That's one thing, moi pis mon ex, là, me and the ex, we agree for sure on that. C'est la social distancing. I have not seen that woman depuis 20 ans. Last time I see her, I think it was back l'an 2000. You remember that? Le fameux, le bug là, le Y2K, on a eu le gros countdown that time. 5, 4, 3, 2, sweet frig all. Except the wife I take it off là. I'm okay with that. Yeah, nah, that's dans le passé, young fella. Yep. C'est comme mon friend Charlie disant, là, Charlie il dit souvent, there's 2 things that the wife don't like, she says she don't like about me. She said 2 things, he say 2 things that she don't like. #1, she say, I don't listen. And #2, some goddamn thing, he say, I don't remember. But that's okay, young fella. Hey, I got the girlfriend now. She take care of me. Oh, she wear the pants. That's it, that's all. Hey, how'd that go, young fella? If a man talk in the forest and his girlfriend not there to hear him, is he still wrong? Don't answer that. Anyway, je suis content. I'm glad you're over the quarantine. Don't get me started with quarantine. Remind me the last time I gone on the 2-week benders with the quarantinees. But good for you. You're on the North Shore. You're in God's country. Salmon Festival, full blast. Hey, even if they did make you stop for the full body cavity search. I said it before. I'm going to say it once more. There's no shore like the North Shore. That's for sure.
There's a mighty rusty goose.
Charles.
You can shoot a lot of moose.
Kaboom!
And if you want the wood, they are just outside my door. The people here, they are the best of kind. Just have an alpine, sit back and unwind. I hope you comes and likes us, but if you don't, then screw us. There's no shore like the North Shore, that's for sure.
There's no shore like the North Shore, that's for sure.